Christmas sense is tingling. Oh, hello.
Hey, dude.
Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year, you filthy animal.
Cheerio, dude.
Cheerio.
Damn nice cup of coffee.
Indeed.
Oh, nice to see you again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while now.
Would you like some ginger cakes?
You mean pepper bread?
No, I think they're actually called pepper cakes in English.
Pepper cakes?
Yes, try one. They're really good. Would you guys like some pepper cakes? Yeah.
Awesome.
You know, it's important to get into that Christmas spirit, you know.
Wonder if they taste good with these
Ooh, what do you got?
energy drinks. Skum, tomte, or foam Santas.
I mean, you can't beat Foam Santa.
Can't beat foam Santa.
Oh. Okay. That's a nice sound. Maybe we should celebrate properly. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Wow.
I expected it to be more pink.
Isn't it pink? Looks
is.
pink.
Yeah. I expected maybe more something in the line of Pink Panther soda or... Yeah.
Wasn't that bad. Tastes marshmallows. So,
Yeah.
welcome back to another episode of Ninja Coffee.
Or foam Santas.
And Foam Santas. Welcome back, guys. It's Christmas. And we're doing something kind of new here today. So we're doing a comic book review. And yeah.
That's new for me.
Yeah, I've
Not for
done
you.
comic book reviews, but I never had guests on the reviews on comic books before. So you guys have met Paul a couple of times, and in addition to being a movie buff, he also reads a lot of comic books.
Yeah, especially DC comics.
DC is your main dish, main thing. Yeah, so today's episode, or today's comic book is Wonder Woman Dead Earth.
Dead Earth, yeah.
And this is a comic book written by Daniel Warren Johnson.
Yep.
And he has both done the story and the illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the colors or coloring by Mike Spicer.
Yeah.
So this is a DC comic book. And this isn't your regular Wonder Woman comic book.
No. Should we give a spoiler warning, or should we just...
we can give us just... before we go into spoilers, we can just give like a short... a little bit on what the story is about and what the comic book is about without going too much into spoilers. And then we'll give a spoiler warning after that.
Yeah. Alright, so this is a Wonder Woman story set in a post-apocalyptic world. Kind of like Mad Max. The way she ends up in this world reminds me of the original ending of Army of Darkness.
It reminds me... I was going to say that.
Yeah, so there's the original ending of Army of Darkness where Ash oversleeps.
I slept too long.
Yeah. They had to change that. It was too dark, so they had to change it back to...
I mean, I do like that final action scene in the other version as well.
I like both endings.
Yeah. Agree. It has that same end of the world, everything's kind of like... desolated and destroyed.
Yeah, so Diana, she wakes up in a world where everything she knows is gone.
Mm-hmm. And everyone she knows kind of as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to continue soon into spoilers. But like, in case you haven't read this and you want to read a Wonder Woman story in a post-apocalyptic setting and you're... I mean, whether you're a Wonder Woman fan or you want to give this comic book a go to maybe read some Wonder Woman stuff. I mean, this is a good place to start. If you don't know where to start on the other ones, you can read this without having any knowledge of anything else. It's a good standalone comic book.
It's also set in the DC Dark Label or Black Label.
Yeah. And let's just, before we continue, would you recommend this comic book?
Absolutely. If you're going to read one Wonder Woman comic, this is the one.
I agree. This is a very interesting comic book, and we're going to go into why and all of that, and what we thought and what we liked and all of that stuff. But so if you kind of don't want to hear any more, go check out the comic book and come back for the rest of the review. Okay, so let's start with some simple stuff. What did you think of the art style? Because it's a very specific style.
Yeah, so the art style is really rough.
Rough.
Rough around the edges. It's not your typical... what you say.
You have very rough lines, and it's got a lot of... I was going to say, like, everything has... it's a bit sketchy, but like that's not the word I was looking for. It's rough. It's rough around the edges.
Yeah, like
nothing looks very pretty.
No, it's if you read any of Frank Miller's comic books, The Dark Knight Returns, and
yeah, I would actually also say, as I mentioned to you earlier, this kind of reminded me of some of Joe Kubert's style. If you read Tuch, yeah, that was a comic book that was out in the 80s, 90s. It has that really rough, kind of not...
animalistic style,
very gritty style. And it was perfect for this setting, because this is not a pretty world. This is, as the title says, it's Dead Earth, and everything is like this big waste. The planet is just like, everything's ruined. And the characters are very animalistic, as you said, and broken down, and you see like lots of almost like they look dirty. They look like they've been in the wastelands for quite some time. So the illustrations kind of reflect the world
it does.
in a cool way. Okay, so you can continue a little bit on this, just plot of the comic book. So Diana wakes up.
Okay, so it starts with this girl who is out looking for food. And
there were a couple of girls scavenging for food in the beginning.
Yeah, and the main character's name is Dee. Yeah, and she's looking for food and I don't know, other survival materials, and she ends up looking in this ruins, and she falls through the floor and lands on this cryo chamber box where you find Diana sleeping,
and they get attacked.
Yeah. Okay, so this world is basically humans against these mutant monsters called the Hydra.
Not to be confused with Hydra.
No, but probably named.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm just doing.
Wonder Woman's based around. Yeah, but I'm thinking more about the Hydra from the Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is basically a Greek goddess.
Yeah. So she wakes up. She saves these poor people from the attack of that monster.
Yeah.
And she joins them.
But before they leave this place, you realize that this cave where this chamber is, it's actually the Batcave. So she's been sleeping in the Batcave for centuries.
We don't know exactly how long. I can't remember they mention how long it's been since the world kind of got destroyed.
It looks like things have been...
definitely.
It must have been at least
a couple of hundred years.
Yeah. And they even find Batman's dead body in the Wayne Manor.
She takes the utility belt.
Mm.
You can see that on the cover here. Yeah, and then it's about these characters.
Mm.
And yeah, so I mean, we were gonna go into spoilers, and you've had your spoiler warning, I guess. So she's new to this world because she hasn't been around, and this is how we get introduced to everything as well, by her learning more and more about this world.
Mm.
So everybody's gone. Something happened. Something destroyed the world.
Mm.
And she traveled. I might be jumping a little bit ahead, but like,
yeah. So before we're jumping ahead, Dee and her crew brings Diana to their
city or camp or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it.
and since Diana is a stranger, she's been captured by these
Savages.
savages. Yeah. These what you call tribal.
Yeah. That covers it. Like,
Yeah. Okay. So she's
these bad people.
Yeah. So she's caught, and they bring her into this big arena, like World War Hulk.
Yeah. Gladiator style.
And
They have a
she's
fight.
she's being pitted against monsters, and one of these monsters turn out to be none other than Cheetah, which is she's been mutated, so she has like
She kind of looks like a Doomsday in some ways.
yeah, so she has like a lot of fangs around her,
Mm.
all around her face, and
Big.
She has an arm with a cheetah head.
Mm. Mm.
Looks kind of messed up.
Yeah.
And they fight, but they eventually end up being friends instead, because that's Diana's only connection to the old world, and same goes for Cheetah. And but still she manages to fight some of these mutants before that, and
Yeah.
she's being hailed as the savior of
Yeah.
the new world.
New world.
And but their city is being attacked, and they have to go look for another safe place. And Diana thinks of Themyscira, which is hidden from man, so she thinks this is the best place for them to go hiding.
But once she goes there,
Yeah, so they get to Themyscira, and just to find out that Themyscira is gone, just like the rest of the world. But you do meet somebody from her past.
She does meet someone. She meets suddenly her mother.
Hippolyta. And at first, everything seems
Normal.
But
In the next panel.
in the next panel, when you get to see more of Hippolyta, you get to see that she's also been mutated to this giant freak of monster. Like, she's basically the Hydra's head. And she learns, Diana learns that the reason why everything is the way it is.
Her mother shows her.
Yeah, she shows her the past, and it's
Parts of it.
Parts of it, yeah. And this is basically the Amazons being tired of the humans destroying the world.
And their aggressive behavior and their destructive ways.
So the Amazons declare war on mankind, and mankind answers by
Nuclear weapons.
using nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And this is what destroys Themyscira and creates, like, all the Amazons turns into these mutant monsters.
So all the monsters she's been fighting so far are
Her sisters.
Yeah, exactly, are former Amazons.
Yeah, and the rest of the world, they except from these few tribes around the world, most of the mankind is being erased by nuclear disaster.
Yeah,
and
these are the interesting parts of this comic book, like how things kind of got destroyed, what led to the end of the world, and how everything is kind of connected, and we learn more and more. We get more pieces to the puzzle. So there was this huge war, and the nuclear weapons hit Themyscira, but and then...
Yeah, okay, so she figures out that she has to go see Superman. Maybe he's still around, and maybe he can
help.
Maybe he can help. So she goes from Themyscira to the Fortress of Solitude, and
there's this cool graffiti on the
the fortress
door.
is surrounded by dead bodies, so people have apparently sought up Superman to
get help.
But there's a lot of dead bodies surrounding. So,
and on the wall, on the doors, it says "Where were you?" or something like that.
And when she enters the fortress, or she's actually being let in by one of Superman's robots or androids, and she's shown into Superman's throne. He actually has a throne.
Yeah. He sits on that throne.
Yeah.
Throne.
And so Superman is sitting on this throne waiting for her, or is he?
No, he's dead.
He's dead.
With a big hole in his chest. So it's only his skeleton lying on the throne, and Diana's like, "What happened? Whoa. How did this happen?"
And this is where she starts learning more about.
This is the big reveal.
This is the big reveal. Why everything happened? Why Superman didn't stop this war? And that was because after the destruction of Themyscira, in the middle of the struggle, before things get destroyed, Superman realizes they're going to fire nuclear weapons, or that they just fired, and he goes to try to stop the big bad humans. And that's when she tries to stop all the nuclear weapons from hitting Themyscira, and her mom takes off her bracelets, and that unleashes her full potential and her full power. So she almost manages to get rid of all the missiles headed towards Themyscira, but I mean, she's just one person, so she couldn't stop all of them, and one missile hits, and so this happens all at once, and this makes her face she loses her shit, and she faces Superman, and why didn't you help me? And I'm sorry.
Superman's trying to calm her down.
But she won't listen, so she ends up beating his ass.
Yeah, she's in full beast mode.
And Superman, he holds back because he doesn't want to hurt her.
Yeah.
So this, so by holding back, that actually ends up having him killed.
Yeah, and before the final kind of
death punch.
Death punch. They are doing this battle and getting hitting each other across the globe and from one place to the other, and
they crash land in.
Yeah, before they do that, it's the total impact of their fight that actually destroys
the world.
And that was pretty interesting. I mean, at first I thought it was the nuclear weapons that destroyed the world, but
they only destroyed
Themyscira. And while kind of when you read the whole thing, you realize, and that's what she realizes as well, that
the Snyder haters would really hate this destruction.
Because, yeah,
World is, this fight ends up being a world destruction.
Yeah, not just Metropolis like in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
But their fight destroys the world, and she breaks off some kryptonite when they enter the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, and she uses the kryptonite to punch a hole in Superman's chest.
And he dies.
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy. He was just trying to help.
And
yeah.
And from there, she visits Bruce. Bruce, Batman.
Is it she who visits him, or he who kind of?
She turns to him for help.
Yeah.
What have I done? What can I do? And Batman, he's like, I should have killed you, but you're the only one who can fix this.
Yeah.
So Batman, he has some sort of device that can take Wonder Woman's powers out of her.
Mm.
So he takes her powers.
And we forgot to mention this. When she wakes up and in the beginning, she's very, in a very weakened state. She's not at her full power, and she gets her ass kicked.
She's still powerful,
she's
but
powerful,
she's not as powerful
not
as
nearly.
Mm. So Batman, he takes her superpowers and puts them in a box, and they are left there for the mankind to decide if she's ever worthy of having the powers back.
And maybe trying to fix the mess she brought in the first place.
But also he pepper cakes. He puts her in this cryo chamber where she is to sleep until somebody brings her back. And so now that she finally knows
the past,
she can move forward and try to help her.
And in between all of this, there are a lot of broken friendships, broken trust, and different bonds between different characters. Because the humans don't trust her because she's one of the Amazons. She's kind of they kind of look at her as a threat, since the Amazons are the monsters attacking them are the Amazons in some ways. They don't trust her completely, and she leaves them as well. And there's a lot of stuff going on in between all the other stuff. So you have, and the interesting also aspect is that Wonder Woman also is torn in between kind of her loyalty to her sisters and to her people, and at the same time she's a very optimistic and hopeful character, and she wants to stand up for the good. And she, even in the first struggle that led to the end of the world, she was taking sides with the Amazons, but they were also the underdogs in this fight, and their side was that they wanted to stop mankind's violent behavior. So she ends up in a very similar situation, but now it's the Amazons that have that violent, destructive behavior, and she has to stop them from destroying mankind if she's gonna stand for her beliefs and follow her moral compass, if you may. Yeah, these are the things that I kind of liked.
Yeah.
All the humanity and her reflections on both sides of the struggle and what to do.
Can she make the same decision twice, or
should she
change the outcome?
Or just give up on mankind? There's always because her mother is really bitter. And you can understand her mother and her perspective, and she's trying to influence Diana.
But she's always been that since Diana left.
Of course.
For Steve Trevor back in the war.
But now it's just multiplied.
So yeah, there's this final battle, and she chooses mankind.
Freedom.
Ends up killing all of her sisters, and then there's this final battle. Yeah, before she
her weapon of choice.
Yeah, her weapon of choice. Yeah, we totally forgot about this.
Yeah, you go on.
So one of her weapon of choice for this final battle is she basically takes Superman's spine and rips it out of him, and
puts in the whip.
Yeah,
through the spine.
Yeah, her lasso of truth is being covered by Superman's spine, so it's basically a Kryptonian whip.
Yeah, bone spine. Yeah, bone-shaped whip.
But still, this isn't enough to actually kill all the Hydras. So there's one thing still missing, and this is
her power.
Her powers, the powers that Batman left in this box.
And throughout the whole comic book, we have a lot of, as I said, the friendship and the bond between her and the other characters, especially her character to Dee, her relationship to Dee, and Dee becomes very upset with her and says like you can't be trusted and all that stuff. But she's
the one who is being handed the box.
Yeah.
By one of Superman's androids. So Dee, her trust in Diana is broken, but she is giving this box, and it's up to her to decide if Diana is worthy of
the power.
The power, yeah.
I have. Yeah, and she gives her back her powers in the middle of the struggle, in the middle of the fight. So then Diana is like, in Super Saiyan mode again.
And she ends up winning, but she doesn't kill everyone. She spares her mother. And her mother goes back to Themyscira to hide.
Yeah. And then...
Yeah, that's...
Is there anything other...
Yeah,
is there anything else?
There's this final the final page is Diana asking Dee if she can trust her again and help rebuilding the world.
Yeah, exactly. So, what did you like? Let's talk about the themes and other now we've gone through the whole plot. But as I said.
So it's fresher on your mind. I read this. Like 6 months ago. So it's not as fresh as it should be by doing this review.
Are you saying our memory isn't what it used to be? We're getting old. We're getting too old for this shit.
That's your word.
Yeah.
But I liked basically everything about it. The art is amazing. It's one of the coolest comics I've read in a long time. And that's basically because it's a standalone. I love DC Comics, but
I love pepper cakes.
The last couple of years, I just fell off the horse because there's too much happening across the universe, and so I've hit the stage where I prefer standalone stories.
I agree.
They give the space to tell a much better convoluted story, and you don't have to. Just look at the DC universe right now. Like, in one story, Batman is helping the Justice League in space, but still, if you read Batman, he's in Gotham fighting
he's doing all
Penguin,
that at the same time.
And then you read Detective Comics, and he's fighting a completely different...
But are they not set in different time areas? Who knows?
I don't know. It's so confusing.
Yeah.
So I prefer these kind of stories.
Standalone comic books and one-shots like that, they're really good if you just want to get into that characters, like if you want to learn more about Wonder Woman or read a good Batman story or whatever, standalone comic books are the best.
I think that's the way they could save the DC movies as well. Just skip the
long runs.
Do like Dark Knight trilogy, do the Joker movie.
Are you saying they should not do another reboot and another Crisis? Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. So,
but still, the art, the story, I love the post-apocalyptic
all that
stage. Everything is just.
I liked all of that, but as I said, what hooked me the most, or like what I kind of was most surprised by, was the writing, the story, and how really down to earth some aspects of it was. Like the friendships, the what do you say, the more you can see her human side. It's not just superheroes, it's about people caring about each other, people trying to do the right thing even in a very messed up world. Those are the things that I really enjoyed about this comic book.
And it kind of gives a perspective on the world today. Is it too late to save it?
Yeah.
Can we do anything? Or no. It's fucked up.
Yeah. But yeah, it reflects like where we might end up if we're just not if we don't give a shit about the planet. That's kind of like, it wasn't just the violence, it was also the way of life that that mankind like not caring about anything and just abusing the planet.
Yeah. There was one thing though, a kind of a plot hole.
Yeah.
And that's
Cheetah. Why is she alive?
Where's she coming from? Did she sleep in a cryo chamber as well, or how did she end up in this?
When they experimented on her.
Yeah.
Could that have given her a prolonged life?
Yeah, with the mutant genes and
maybe.
Probably, I don't know.
They didn't explain.
They don't explain, so it's kind of.
And if they experimented on her, are there other characters that are out there like her?
Yeah, there's many powerful characters in the DC universe where you can start asking questions. Where were Aquaman?
Yeah, Shazam,
Black
Adam. A lot of characters that might be alive and somewhere in this setting.
So would you like to see them explore this universe more?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good comic book. I would like to see more from this universe.
Yeah.
I think that does it.
It does.
Yeah. All right. So, thanks for coming back on the show. And Paul and I will be doing some more videos in December. We are gonna do like we're gonna go through some. We're gonna discuss Christmas movies.
Or what makes a Christmas movie?
A Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the criterias for a Christmas movie? For example,
there's some of these very obvious Christmas movies, like
Santa Claus.
Yeah, Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, but some movies are discussed a lot, and sometimes some people say they're not Christmas movies, and some people say they are. What movies do we have on that list? We have a lot.
Die Hard,
Gremlins,
Batman Returns,
Lethal Weapon 1. These movies, are they Christmas movies or are they not? What movies would you like us to discuss? We have a list of. We have some movies. We
we would like to bring up, but do you know one of these
obscure, weird,
controversial Christmas movies you want us to talk about? Is it a Christmas movie or not? Let us know.
Let us know in the comments. And if you read this and have some thoughts, feel free to leave a comment. And do share and like and subscribe, and you do all that regular stuff too, if you feel like it. And if you don't feel like it, just do it anyways. Okay. Thanks, guys, and Merry Christmas, and we'll see you around very soon. Yippee-ki-yay, you filthy animal.
Nah.
These are weird.
Yeah. I need to.
Yeah.
Eat some pepper cake to flesh the taste.
Didn't you say it was called ginger cake. Or was it pepper bread? Pepper bread cake. That's the one.